Remember to like and subscribe. Welcome everybody to Probed.
Probed.
How's everybody doing this evening?
They're not going to answer you.
I was asking you.
Oh, I'm doing pretty great. We have the PS5 release information here.
And
pretty stoked about that.
Fucking great lineup. God of War Ragnarok, the new Miles Morales Spider-Man, Resident Evil 8 Village, which looks amazing. Demon Souls remake. My God, it's just such a good fucking lineup. Demon Souls is exclusive to Sony too. Oh, I'm getting a PlayStation.
Technically, we already have the PS4. We're PlayStation people to start off.
Yeah, we are PlayStation people. This kind of showcases that they have better exclusives than Microsoft, though. Right now, Microsoft working with Halo and Gears. I'm excited for Halo, but not really after the last gameplay. I mean, it brought back like childhood memories of playing Halo 2, but other than that, I don't know. I think my favorite so far in this Sony lineup is probably Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to God of War, most definitely.
Resident Evil. Oof.
Ragnarok.
I know. Oh, Ragnarok. Man, that put chills. I walked in and said, "Hey, Kara, I got a surprise." Oh, such a good day when a new God of War game comes out.
Yes, and guess what, guys? The pre-order date for the PS5 starts tomorrow. September 17th. Well, I guess today, by the time you release this. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, I'll release this tomorrow morning. Today.
Pre-order today! Pre-order your PS5 now! Do it! We're not sponsored by PlayStation.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by PlayStation whatsoever, but, we can dream. So what do you think of the games? What do you think of the lineup? How'd they look?
Oh, I think it looked fantastic. When I saw the Spider-Man one, I mean, you heard me. It looks very similar to the last game with a lot of new visual updates, which I guess is the biggest problem I had with the last game, but I don't know if I want to sit through another complete game that's kind of the same.
I don't know. And it looks like the enemies pretty much look the same, like with a different skin almost.
Exactly. Even the side electronic guys, not Taskmaster.
The red
and
ones?
The crew.
The Roxxon?
Yeah, it looks like the exact same design, same
it does look like
placement.
Saber.
Yeah, it looks like Saber.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what concerns me.
Or Sable. Saber. Yeah, I think it's Saber.
I don't know what it was. It was something with an S, guys.
No, I agree with you. I very much agree with you. Because it looks, I don't know, not too different.
Yeah.
Not too different. Some of the stuff looked pretty cool. The action looked cool because it was like sheer chaos.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know how excited I am for that. Demon Souls has got me excited too.
Yes, that one looks amazing. I really like the art concept design behind it in the first place.
Oh yeah. And I'm ready to be frustrated. Oh, yeah. That game makes it, I can watch it and go, it's going to make me really fucking frustrated, but I'm going to love every second.
I know, and the gameplay little snippet we got, it really pulled me in.
Final Fantasy 16's on the list too. We're not Final Fantasy people. See, that's how much I care.
But for the people that are, I mean, this is a great development, and they've been. I mean, not that they have to wait too long. Final Fantasy comes out at a good rate, but I'm sure they're very excited. It looks cool. I've always liked the character design. It's just not my niche.
Yeah, no. I always, for some reason, in my mind, group Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy into that little...
I really liked Kingdom Hearts as a kid, and then when I tried to play their newest game, it just didn't interest me. I couldn't get through it, and I ended up reselling it. It's not even something I wanted to keep and try again later.
When was the last time you played it? Not this last time when you thought, but the time before that.
Probably around 14. No, I played it on the DS Lite when they released that game.
Okay. Yeah, no, I could never get into it, and I was never a big Disney guy. I'm still not really.
I did grow up with a lot of Disney, so I guess that kind of influenced me, and now that I'm older, I do a lot more of Marvel, superheroes, video games. Don't do a lot of Disney anymore unless it's The Mandalorian, so...
Yeah. That and Pixar. All the Pixar stuff, like every once in a while I go through a Pixar phase where I watch all the Pixar movies in like
They
a
tend
group.
to be very emotional, though, and we're not always in the mood for emotional.
But the art style's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm an art
And the
nerd.
acting normally is beyond what you can normally expect from people these days.
Yeah. It's... I always go back to Pixar. But other than that, what else do you find interesting about the PS5?
I don't know. I mean, this is pretty normal for gaming consoles now, but you can play all the PS4 games
Yeah.
on the PS5. I mean, that's a pretty recent development in our lifetime.
So it's weird. Every time a system comes out and they've gone... I guess it's only this last gen that really sparked it. But every time they say, oh, there's going to be backwards compatibility. All the games that you have, you can play. In reality, there's like a list of things you can actually play and a list of things you can't.
Well, this seems like it's going to be full on, and it has VR to it, and we have our digital edition for people who don't like owning hard copies, want to release the clutter, don't want to worry about scratched discs, and it's $100 less. I mean, that sounds amazing, but we're such a big fan of owning the actual disc.
Yeah, and I always thought that was because the way I grew up. Like, I never got to have all the games.
You those discs and you like checked them every time you played them.
Yeah,
like it feels wrong not to have them, but in the long run, I mean, some people saving that $100 is the difference between getting it and not getting it at all.
Well, it's like I would grow up and I never got to have the disc. I always borrowed it from friends and stuff.
That's true.
I always played like systems at other places, like with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the one system I really had was the Sega and the GameCube.
Yeah.
Like, as my own, I would say it was that. But even then, they were shared back and forth. So it's nice to have a hard copy now. I enjoy having the hard copy, because then I can just go, hey, look at what I got.
It also seems to be the game system for people who really like symmetry in their system themselves. It has like this kind of curve in when you stand it straight up, whereas the disc one, it's got like this bulge on the side. I'm seeing a lot of people
it doesn't look nice
on the internet going, what? But it's not satisfying. They use the satisfying colors. They switched it up to the white. They have the curve, but then there's a bulge on one side. I can see where people are coming from, but it wouldn't influence my decision.
I remember a while back when it like you can tell when a company is trying to put out something that looks, newer.
Yeah.
They tend to use white. It's like white or sheer black. Like,
because
everything's got to be black.
But then it looks like we have kind of like either a glowing or like a soft bluish purple tip on the top, kind of like devil horns. That looks nice to me.
Well, it also looks like... So, like, the computer we're running off right now is an Alienware. And it's a desktop. And it really looks a lot like that. Like one of the newest Alienwares.
Oh yeah, and I really have always liked the design of Alienware, and I really like the customizable lights. I wish a game system would come out with that.
It looks like the PS5 though. It looks like it has those lights somewhere on it.
It might. I mean, we haven't really. And these controllers look new also. They look very flat. Like very what's the word? Streamlined.
The other weird thing is when next-gen consoles come out, they always try and tweak up the controller to make it feel like the most comfortable and easy thing to use. I'm always interested on what they're going to do next with it.
Yeah, and it's saying, the DualShock 4 will be compatible, but I don't know if it will be compatible for everything.
I would wish it would be, because we have one. Well, no, we have two technically if we use... But no, we have one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a section on, the actual PS5 release saying, will the PS4 controllers work? And it doesn't seem like they give a very straightforward answer, which is why the only reason I'm saying that. Normally they'd be like, yes, absolutely, if there was no issues, but they're probably still not completely done.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so yet, but... while we're taking a second to breathe here, I'm going to say since I smoke on this podcast, I do smoke on this podcast, she does not, and we're practicing safe smoking. So everybody, just if you're going to smoke with us, smoke smart, do it in a safe environment, preferably in your home, please, and just hang out with us. So yeah. No, I wish I would have got something more on God of War. I'll say I wish I had got something a little more.
I'm okay with that, because I feel like I love God of War so much that it's like with you, when you see something you're super, super excited for, you don't want to see it.
Yeah, That's fair.
They didn't. We just heard his voice, and I was like shivering. You know,
Yeah.
I was ready to play right now. The whole thing.
It's a big deal knowing that it's Ragnarok. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's coming next. That's like a
I
huge deal.
suspected. I mean, where else do you go from what they did before?
I don't know. I feel like Ragnarok is used a lot since Thor came out.
I think they're gonna do it right though. I think Thor put such a comedic spin on it.
Yeah. It will
That
be.
this is really gonna be the nailing thing of Ragnarok
Yeah.
for the next like 5 to 10 years.
I'm excited. I'm excited for.
They
all
don't
of
mess
these.
around with their stories.
This makes me happy today, because when you get to like go to your subscriptions on YouTube, and then you see just a long list of trailers for things that you're so excited for,
Yes.
that's always an exciting day for me.
Finding that right video to watch. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, on that note, like and subscribe.
That's right. Hopefully we can do that for you.
Yeah, please come back, smoke with us, safely, but smoke with us.
And don't smoke with me. You know, whatever you like. So, how do you think this is going to do compared to the Xbox?
Oh, I think Sony, like the PS4, is gonna blow them out of the water for a while.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. So since PS4 came out, Sony's been on this just great track of, like, their lineup's been amazing. And it's been surprise after surprise after surprise. And this brought surprises because, like I said, I've been waiting for Resident Evil Resident Evil 8 after 7 came out for
Yeah.
a long fucking time.
Yeah, I know you have been.
I'm a huge Resident Evil
It's
fan.
been a little bit, and with video games, I mean, some places come out with them, you know, like 1.5, 2 years, if I'm correct. It's like the average.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes you have to wait for a very long time, and I think that makes you value the game more.
Well, and also it looks like it harkens back to Resident Evil 4, which, much like everybody, that's their favorite Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I'm stuttering a lot because I'm kind of stoned.
You're living the dream, buddy.
No, so I'm excited to see all the connections to Resident Evil 4, because I know they're going to put them in there.
That would be nice. It's always nice to have that nostalgic feeling.
And it's cool that it's not called Resident Evil. It's called Village, which is... And, like, the subtext is, like, Resident Evil 8 and all of that, but it's called Village.
I feel like they had to do that, per se, because when I see something that's been branded like that, not branded, but, you know, there's so many of them, eventually they're like, oh, it's another one of those. If they remove that from the full-on advertising, they're going to attract those people that are like, oh, it's Resident Evil, I've played that so many times. So they'll draw them in.
We should play Resident Evil 7, you and me.
Ooh.
Because you haven't... Have you played it?
Yeah,
You played, like, the beginning of it, didn't you?
I've played the beginning of it in VR. I've never played it normal. That was horrifying. Let me tell you, that was horrifying.
I wish I could have done that.
Oh.
No, we should definitely play that, because if you haven't played that, I think it's a game you would really like. Like, our channel harkens to, like, horror. Like, that was the base idea, was horror stuff. Like, scary, and, you know, well, that's why it's called Monster Antenna, and I've got creepy shit all over the place if I can. And so, I don't know. I think you're really gonna like it if you haven't played it.
I haven't played it all the way through, and I've somehow kept myself from the story of 7. Probably not the other Resident Evils, but 7 I've kept myself pretty far away from the story.
It's so good. It's so good. And you don't have to play the other Resident Evils to necessarily enjoy this at all.
Yeah, I know that about them. It's just...
I think there's only one real reason that you need, well, maybe 2, like umbrellas in it, and as you see in the Village trailer, Chris Redfield is back.
Yeah.
Which is like at the very end of the game, so it's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, we are at 14 minutes. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it. PS5 is coming out. You can pre-order it September 17th, and you can have it, I think it's November 12th for the United States. And I think it's the 17th for everybody else. Don't yell at me if I get that wrong.
So whoever watches this the day, tomorrow, the day it comes out on the 17th, you can pre-order today.
That's right. And don't forget, the digital is cheaper, but you're going to have to rely on your internet connection, folks, all the time, every day. So if your internet ever goes out, you're fucked.
Well, I think you need an internet connection in order to start a PlayStation because it has to do an update in order to start like right off, I think.
Yes, but I know the PS5 isn't completely internet based. Like you can do stuff on it, but the digital edition, it's completely reliant on that internet access. It might not completely download the game to your console, but more like a cloud.
I feel like we should get the disc.
Oh, I definitely want the disc. That's definitely me being biased.
Yeah, which is another $100 for a disc drive, but I can live with it. I can live with that.
They probably put some good stuff in there this time.
Yeah, I can live with that. Plus, I got a million Blu-rays that I need to watch back and back and back, so...
Yeah, and it'll probably run for so smooth, it's 4K.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to clock it there. Thanks, everybody, for getting stoned with me and hanging out with Kara.
That's right. Come hang with me anytime.
Like and subscribe. I know I say that a lot, and I know you hear that in every single video you'll ever watch on YouTube.
But don't do it unless you like it.
Yeah, and please, like us. Please, like us. Anyways... This has been Probed.
Probed.
Ta-ta.